Well, hi, everybody. Diane Musho Hamilton here, and I am here to talk to you about an event that's coming up that is related to the work that we're doing all over the world, really, with DEI, with our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and really just the human attempt to be more just, more inclusive, and just basically kinder to each other. And it's oriented towards people who are facilitators, but if you're a manager, if you're a coach, if you're a leader of any kind, you might find this useful, because what we're experiencing right now is a tremendous upsurgence in this particular set of values, which is so important for the evolution of our culture and for just the tendency for us to have marginalized and oppressed one another in kind of unconscionable ways. And it's not like we don't have a lot to deal with. I mean, there's something like almost 700 inches of snow in the mountains right now, and it's there's potential for flooding this spring. We have the threat of nuclear war. We have AI coming at us in this enormously big way, and yet the work that we're doing in relationship to each other continues to be extremely valuable. And we can't succeed in any of these other endeavors if we can't literally make a leap in terms of how we get along. So this is really, really important. And one of the things that we find as facilitators is sometimes the DEI values end up backfiring, and we end up more exclusive and less tolerant of debate, opinion, healthy discourse. We find that we become, less diverse. We're only able to tolerate people who have our own opinion. And in some ways, our outcomes become less fair. So our attempts to really even normalize and stabilize, equity and value, somehow we end up struggling so much that even our outcomes, so many of our nonprofits in the country right now are involved in kind of circular firing squads and have become literally quite dysfunctional. So this is really an attempt to affirm the movement of what is the current civil rights movement, and to also find our way out of the kind of back eddies that we can get caught in and literally don't quite know how to get out of. So some of what we're going to be working on that in this one-day online event is basically, how do we develop really, proficient and energized learning environments for these issues? How do we deepen relationships through our difference rather than creating more division? How do we actually work with the emotional dimension in these kinds of conversations? What happens in the body? How do we work with our own nervous system? How is it effective to bring the experience of pain and of suffering, and to actually invite groups to acknowledge harm, if you will, but in a way that deepens the connection and doesn't freeze the nervous system? Exploring power dynamics, and particularly how people wield power in all kinds of settings, and distinguishing our personal psychological motives from genuine social action. So it's a big agenda. There's a lot that we're going to be doing. I think I really am imagining that if this is something that you really care about and also are experiencing sometimes the difficulty of, I think this is really going to be something you'll enjoy. So I want to invite you to join us and help us explore. It's an exploration, and coming from the deep roots of believing that the well-being of the entire world depends on our ability to actually get along. So hope to see you online, and talk to you soon.